Welcome back to the Playbook. I'm Jason Feldman, and this is the Playbook series on sales. And today we're going to be talking about the 4 parts of a winning P&C insurance sales script.
Insurance dudes are on a mission to escape being handcuffed by our agencies.
How? By uncovering the secrets to creating a predictable, consistent, and profitable agency sales machine.
I am Craig Pretzinger.
I am Jason Feldman.
We are agents.
We are insurance dudes.
Starting with the first part of the 4 parts, which is the opener. The opener, which we've called the pickup line, we've called it the icebreaker, but this is really that initial part of the phone call. And if you're buying any kind of leads, this part is so important because people eject from the phone call very quickly, or eject from any communications with you for that matter. So we have to make sure that we knock this one out of the park. And there's a few principles that if you follow, you will get at least 2x better results. The first principle with the opener is to make sure that your agent does not hang up. Like no matter what, they can't be the one to hang up. I see this so many times with people, and it drives me banana sandwich. And that's when an agent calls a lead, and they go, oh, okay, all right, I'll call you back. And then they hang up the phone. It's like, what are you doing? Dude, we've seen people close sales, one call closes while the client was dispatching cars at their job and had to keep putting the agent on hold because they were literally working and dispatching cars. And the sales agent just kept going on hold, kept getting more and more information, but they stayed on for that. And that person did not want to stay on initially. So it can definitely happen. So the icebreaker, so important. People form an opinion within 5 seconds of a person. So this is why we've always trained our agents on this. Hey, Sam, how's your day going? We would make sure that they would repeat whatever that opening line is for your agency. Repeat it over and over and over again and make it sound welcoming, inviting, making sure that your energy's up, not give them a chance to eject from the phone call. And they're going to want to, but again, we're trying to do the law of large numbers in this whole process, which is giving us the best chance to close this sale. So within the first 5 seconds, we want to sound outgoing, and we definitely do not want to sound like a telemarketer or an insurance agent. Why? Well, I think it's pretty obvious that they're going to hang up on you if you sound like that. You know who they're not going to hang up on? Their friend. So why is it that we can call our buddy and it's like, hey, what's up, man? But when we call a lead, it's like, hello, this is Jason. How are you doing today, sir? Like, of course, that's the worst. You know they're going to hang up. I'll never forget when and you can relate, all sales are the same, whether it's online, on the phone, in person. There are principles that you can follow that will give you the best results, right? Case in point, I went to Living Spaces and I wanted to buy a couch. And I walk in there and I didn't even know where the couches were. I walk in and there was a salesperson that came out and said, hey, can I help you? And the way he did it and came at me was so salesy that just like a knee-jerk reaction, if a doctor hit my knee with one of those little hammers, I said, no, I'm okay. And I walked past him and he didn't say anything else, right? He could have approached me like a friend. Hey man, how's your day going? I said, pretty good. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Are you going to the back? Like he could have engaged in a normal human conversation to get to the point of, helping me because I actually needed help. And I didn't even know where I was going in the store. So, I mean, it would have been much better if he would have approached it differently. But he approached it like a salesperson and he got my knee-jerk reaction. And just like a phone call that we're doing, we do not want to sound like a salesperson or a telemarketer or like everybody else. This part, again, you being an agency owner, have the control to break out of the mold. You don't have to sound like other people. So this step is so important. So what we do is we got to get our agents to say something natural and to say it like they would normally say it and to say it like that they were excited. Kind of like if they called their friend and they were really excited about a movie that they just saw and how they would describe it. Call with that kind of like tone, call with that kind of enthusiasm. And if you're not an enthusiastic person, don't try to like push yourself in that direction. Just sound normal, like it's a friend. You want to kind of catch them off guard and, oh, who is this? You know, like we want to try to get away from those knee-jerk reactions. Everybody, when they first fill out a form of insurance, and I think we said this in the other video, but we need to go back and really hammer this point in. When somebody fills out something online, they had something that happened to them with their insurance company, probably the raising of rates. They got in a car accident. They didn't like the way the company handled it. Something that they just didn't like about their insurance company. So they're thinking, this is a good time that, you know, I can shop around and find something. And these are the three things that they're motivated by. They want to find something that's cheap, quick, and easy. So let's do the inversion thinking on this. What's the opposite of that? Quick, fast, and easy. They're dreading that this is going to be expensive, that it's going to take a long time, and that it's not easy. So why don't, if they're thinking these things, which I guarantee you they are, I know they are because we've asked them. If they're thinking these things, what we want to do is tell them, oh, don't worry. It's going to be super quick. It's going to be quick. You're paying way too much. Like automatically tell them they're paying too much. Don't worry. And this is going to be quick and easy, and then go into it. But we initially want to start off with the, hey, how's your day going? Something like that, something like a friendly conversation. And we want to make sure that the agent doesn't hang up. Oh, I don't have time for it. Oh, I totally get that. Are you still at this address? Keep asking them questions. Your agent needs to keep asking them, is that comfortable? No. Is that natural? No. Is that how you talk to your grandma on the phone? Absolutely not. But we're not doing that. We're buying leads. We're spending a lot of money on this stuff. We want to get an ROI on our leads, right? Dude, they have to keep asking questions. And if the people don't want to answer, ask the next question, right? If the person on the phone doesn't want to answer, are you at this address? And they don't say anything. Oh, okay. Do you still have this car? You know, like just keep asking them a question as if they did answer the last one. But the last thing we want to do is just hang up. So getting them used to being uncomfortable is key. The difference between a salesperson and a service person is the salesperson should be willing to be uncomfortable. And we'll talk about this. This part of the sales script is the first sale. You have to sell them on actually talking to you. Like that's number one. It's so important. If a salesperson cannot get past step one, they're not a salesperson. Or you need to spend some time with them and make them understand that that is 100% not okay. Let's assume that the lead that they got on the phone, if you actually do the math, remember how many leads that you need to get the quotes and all that stuff, how much did that quote cost you? Probably cost you a lot of money. Probably cost you at least 20, 30 bucks, right? So tell them that quote cost 20 bucks. Do you want to pay me 20 bucks if you just hang up on them? Now, I don't think that's legal, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, have them realize, like, we're not talking to our friend here. So this is super important. You need to handle these leads in a certain way, right? And if the lead hangs up on it, who cares? They're on the phone. This is not in person, right? What do they have to lose? They only have something to gain, not something to lose. This being uncomfortable part is the thing that they need to get over. And if they can't do it, they're the wrong person on your team. I hate to say it, but we're talking about way too much risk and way too much money that's being invested in them to not take this part seriously. So that's number one. That's the icebreaker. Those are some tips that I like in the icebreaker. What questions are passed? Hey, Sam, how's your day going? Is just, getting into the answering of more questions on the policy, or just keep talking back and forth. And if they ask something, they say something that puts up a roadblock, just get past it. Just ask something else. And just, if you want to go right into like filling out the form, that's fine. You're going to have to get back to that work family fun that we talked about the other day, but at least let's keep them on the phone, because we know this. is that if they are on the phone for longer than 2 minutes, you're most likely going to get the quote. Most likely, right? It's very easy for somebody that once they pick up the phone, within the first few seconds, it's easy for them to hang up. But once they've stayed on the phone, it's very hard for them to leave the conversation, especially the more time they put on that call. Let's say they've talked for 5 minutes. It's gonna be hard for them to back out because they've already invested 5 minutes. You know, they'd have to agree that that 5-minute decision was a pretty poor decision if they decided to hang up, right? So most people, and they feel bad because they started to talk to you. So we can get to know them later, but really the initial part of this call is to keep them on the phone. That's it. So that is the first play of the script opener playbook. I'm Jason Feldman. Tomorrow, we're going to get into the connection, the second part of the script.